The scent of coffee mingled with the crisp autumn air as Jenna walked into her favorite café. She wrapped her scarf tighter around her neck, hoping to ward off the chill that had settled into her bones. As she ordered her usual latte, she couldn't help but notice the man sitting alone at a corner table, his eyes buried in a book. Something about him drew her in, the way his fingers delicately turned the pages, the furrow of concentration on his brow. She quickly looked away, chiding herself for being so easily captivated by a stranger. Lost in her thoughts, Jenna barely noticed when her name was called for her coffee. Balancing the cup in one hand and her book in the other, she navigated her way to an empty table near the window. She settled into her seat, savoring the warmth of the coffee against her palms. Glancing out the window, she watched as leaves danced in the breeze, a kaleidoscope of reds and golds. Suddenly, she felt a presence beside her table. Startled, she looked up to find the man from the corner table standing there, a hesitant smile playing on his lips. "Mind if I join you?" he asked, his voice soft and melodic. Jenna's heart fluttered at the sound of his voice. She nodded, gesturing to the empty chair across from her. As he settled into the seat, she couldn't help but notice the way his eyes seemed to sparkle in the sunlight streaming through the window. "I couldn't help but notice you from across the room," he admitted, his gaze never leaving hers. "You seemed lost in your own world." Jenna felt a blush creep up her cheeks at his words. I suppose I was," she admitted, feeling strangely vulnerable under his intense scrutiny. They fell into an easy conversation, sharing snippets of their lives as if they had known each other for years. Jenna learned that his name was Adam, that he was an artist who found inspiration in the most unexpected places. Adam, in turn, learned that Jenna was a writer, struggling to find her voice in a world that often felt too loud. Before they knew it, hours had passed, and the café began to empty out as the day faded into evening. Reluctantly, Jenna and Adam exchanged numbers, promising to meet again soon. As Jenna walked home that night, she couldn't shake the feeling that she had just met someone who would change her life in ways she couldn't yet imagine. Days turned into weeks, and Jenna found herself eagerly anticipating each meeting with Adam. They explored the city together, discovering hidden gems tucked away in forgotten corners. They shared their hopes and dreams, their fears and insecurities, as if they were pieces of a puzzle that fit together perfectly. One crisp autumn afternoon, as they sat on a park bench watching the sunset, Adam turned to Jenna with a question burning in his eyes. "Tell me your deepest secret," he whispered, his voice barely audible above the rustle of leaves. Jenna hesitated, her heart pounding in her chest. She had never shared this secret with anyone before, not even her closest friends. But there was something about Adam, something that made her want to bare her soul to him. Taking a deep breath, she began to speak, her words tumbling out in a rush. "I've always been afraid of letting people in," she admitted, her voice trembling with emotion. "Afraid of being vulnerable, of getting hurt. But with you, it's different. With you, I feel safe." Adam reached out, gently taking her hand in his. His touch sent a jolt of electricity coursing through Jenna's veins, igniting a fire deep within her. "I have a secret too," he confessed, his eyes never leaving hers. "I've spent my whole life searching for something elusive, something I couldn't quite name. But now I think I've found it." Their lips met in a gentle kiss, sealing their shared secrets in a silent promise. As the days turned into weeks, and the weeks turned into months, Jenna and Adam found themselves falling deeper and deeper in love. They laughed together, they cried together, they navigated the ups and downs of life hand in hand. But as winter turned to spring, a shadow loomed on the horizon, a shadow from Jenna's past that threatened to tear them apart. One evening, as they sat curled up on the couch, Jenna received a phone call that sent her world crashing down around her. It was from her ex-boyfriend, the one who had shattered her heart into a million pieces. Adam watched as Jenna's face drained of color, her hands trembling as she struggled to hold back tears. "What is it?" he asked, his voice filled with concern. Jenna took a deep breath, steeling herself for what she was about to say. "It's him," she whispered, her voice barely audible. "He wants me back." Adam felt a surge of anger rise up inside him, but he pushed it aside, focusing instead on comforting Jenna. You don't have to go back to him, he said firmly, his gaze unwavering. You deserve so much better than that, but Jenna couldn't shake the feeling of doubt that had taken root in her heart. What if he was right? What if she did deserve better? As she lay awake that night, tangled in Adam's arms, she couldn't help but wonder if their love was strong enough to withstand the storm that was brewing on the horizon. In the days that followed, Jenna found herself torn between her past and her present, between the familiar comfort of what she knew and the uncertain future that lay before her. But through it all, Adam remained by her side, a constant source of strength and support. He listened as she poured out her fears and insecurities, holding her close as she struggled to make sense of the chaos swirling inside her mind. And slowly, ever so slowly, Jenna began to realize that she didn't have to be defined by her past, that she had the power to choose her own path, to forge her own destiny. With Adam's love as her guiding light, she found the courage to let go of the past and embrace the future with open arms. As they stood together on a cliff overlooking the ocean, the salty breeze tangling their hair, Jenna knew that she had found her home in Adam's arms. And as they watched the sun dip below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of pink and gold, she made a silent vow to cherish this love, this beautiful, messy, imperfect love, for the rest of her days.